I'm sure some of you thought the same thing I did. What if they added 2 more Kimono Girls in Hard Gold and Soul Silver with Glaceon and Leafeon? Well, I think it all depends on whether they want to implement Generation 3 and 4 Pokemon before the Elite Four. And personally, I hope they're going to do that for reasons I'm going to explore probably a bit later on in this video. But right now, while I'm dealing with the Eeveelutions, I might as well mention that there are 2 or 3 people who commented on previous videos of mine suggesting that Raikou, Entei, and Suicune were actually not evolutions, but they're related to the original 3 Eeveelutions in some way. It's probably not canon, but there are a few people who heard of that possibility, so, you know, maybe it actually is the case, but I don't think it's canon because I've never heard of it. But the idea is that the stat spreads are very similar between Vaporeon and Suicune, Jolteon and Raikou, and Flareon and Entei. Entei even has the annoying lack of Flare Blitz to go along with Flareon, so all Entei has got is Fire Fang on the physical side. And both Flareon and Entei got new moves with Platinum that don't really suit their needs. Flareon had Lava Plume and Entei had Eruption. Come on, where's Flare Blitz? Now I'm hoping that the legendary dogs get some new moves with Platinum, including Flare Blitz for Entei. Please! Okay, there goes the last Kimono Girl, so now I can go and claim my Surf HM from the... I'm trying to think of a witty insult here, but I just can't. Because, come on, it's a surfing Rhydon. A surfing Rhydon who wants to dance to... What the hell? I still can't get over that fact. I am sorry, okay. Now he's saying the exact same thing as the last time. Okay, now he's saying something different. I was worried that he was going to deny me of my hard-earned HM03. And with Surf in hand, I am going to head to the gym now. Well, that's what I want to say, but today is Sunday. And on Sundays, Sunny of the Day Siblings appears on Route 37, the one that is just south of Ecruteak. So I'm going to head to Route 37 and claim the magnet from Sunny. And the magnet is going to be going to Alakazam since, well, Gengar and Quilava are already holding items. And, oh, a phone call from the camper. I think it was the one on Route 34. Oh! It's for a rematch, so instead of going to the gym after I talk to Sunny, I'm going to head to Route 34 and battle this guy. But as I was about to say, it's a shame that I didn't have the magnet when I fought Silver, because I might have actually one-shotted that Croconaw of his, and I would have spared myself the humiliation of having to take a critical, super effective hit that hits through only 45 base defense and 55 base HP. Now that backtracking session to Route 34 isn't going to be all bad because I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to show you my strategy for finding Raikou and Entei, because Suicune is going to be encountered at specific points in the game as part of the story, and eventually I'm going to capture it without having to hunt it down all over the place. Raikou and Entei, however, are different. They're still runners in Crystal, so I'm going to have to find them if I want to have their Dex data, and if I do get their Dex data, then I'm going to be able to use it to hunt them down further. But first, I need to find both of them for the first time. So what I'm going to do is, whenever I enter a route, like for instance, right now I'm on Route 37, whenever I enter a route, I'm going to trigger one random battle. Maybe more if I absolutely need to trigger them to get through the place, but otherwise, if I would get through without any random battles, I'm still going to trigger one regardless. And the odds are pretty good that if the Raikou or Entei is on this route, that I will actually encounter him in battle. So right now I'm on Route 36, so I triggered one more battle. Even though I could have avoided the grass entirely, I decided to go in there and trigger one battle. I got a Pidgey level 4 here instead of a level 40 Raikou or Entei, but eventually I'll find them. I simply have to. I go through that road so many times to go and check on Buena every night that, you know, eventually I think I'm going to find them. Raikou's especially important because I want it for my team, and Entei, while I'm not planning on using it, it's still required to get to Who, so I'm going to need it regardless. Besides, I want to try and catch all legendaries to show you how it's done, because as my red LP established, I am a pro at catching legendaries. Okay, maybe not. I just got incredibly lucky, especially on Zapdos and Moltres. 3 balls for the 2 of them, I still can't get over it. I hope the dogs are going to be as easy. Else, the more my balls fail me, the more I'm going to have to hunt these down all over the place, and it's not going to be very funny. The good news is that they won't attack me. The bad news is that I would actually like them to attack me instead of having them run all over the freaking place. Okay, so I think it was this guy, and it is. So here comes the rematch. And you know, in the last video I mentioned the troubles with my internet connection. Well, now it's fixed. We bought a new router to replace the old one. We think it was damaged during a thunderstorm, but we're not entirely sure. Nonetheless, this one works, and it's got a way better range for wireless connections and stuff, so it's actually a pretty good improvement. Well, connecting my Wii to it was a pain in the ass, but I eventually managed to get it done. Now, even though that problem is solved, yeah, there may still be some serious slowdown in the rate my videos are posted, because it's the month of July, and July is usually the busiest month of the year at work, so I can do weeks like 50 hours in the most extreme cases, so I may not have too much time to give to this LP. I'm going to keep updating whenever I can, especially since there's going to be new news for Hard Gold and Soul Silver coming up soon, but I'm going to try and keep up the pace. But it's just to say that if I spend several days without a single new video, well, don't worry about it. Don't pester me. Like, when's the new video? When's the new video? Actually, never do that. Especially not in the month of July, but never ever do that. It's going to come eventually. So now I'm going to apply the same strategy I used when I was going to Route 34, triggering one battle on every route. But now it's really time to head to the Ecruteak gym, and one thing I hate about that place is that it's just Ghastlies and Haunters. And yeah, Morty has a Gengar too, but other than that, it's just Ghastlies and Haunters. Not even a Misdreavus somewhere in there. I mean, they've introduced a new ghost. The least they could do is at least pepper it all over the place, not have them just be in the wild at the very, very end of the game, because that's something else. You can only find them at the foot of Mount Silver. Why they do that, I don't know, because back then, before it could evolve into Mismagius, it was just a crappy Parish Trapper with equally crappy stats. In fact, the reason it was so crappy was because of the stats, because once it could evolve, it actually became pretty decent. It's still no Gengar, though, I'll have to give it that, but it still has a certain appeal. See what I meant about how they should implement those guys from generations 3 and 4 in Hard Gold and Soul Silver, because at least we would have something else than just freaking Ghastlies and Haunters all over the place. And we're going to have to deal with those Ghastlies and Haunters, but it's going to have to wait until next time.